Hello and welcome to our labs. Today we're going to be discussing how to create inserted graphs within a ggplot. Now this sounds really difficult, but it's actually pretty easy. The data source for this example is Morgan Ernest's 2003 ecology dataset on the life history characteristics of non-flying mammals. So either go to his website to download the dataset or go to the link below. Once you've saved this data to your computer, get that directory and set it as the working directory for this session of R. And then go ahead and read in this CSV file. Here's the names of some of the columns that are in the dataset. And we're going to be trying to graph the relationship between log of body size and the period of gestation measured in months. To begin with, let's focus on these variables and remove any negative numbers. Then for mass and gestation, let's take the log of these values and save them as new columns to our data frame. Okay, now let's open up the ggplot2 library and let's create a basic ggplot object. Let's just have a walk through this. So we're creating a scatter plot because we're using the geometric object geom_points. We pass into this ggplot object the my.data data frame, and within that data frame we're calling up the log.mass.grams as an x-axis and as a y-axis log.gestation.month. And just to keep things pretty, we're tacking on the end a global theme-bw. So in other words, we've just created a ggplot object named main, and if we look at that class, yes, it is indeed a ggplot object. We're now going to create a second ggplot object called sub, and this is going to have the combination of the previous ggplot object plus a new geometric object, a rectangle. And this rectangle is going to take up a certain portion of the previous graph. It's going to have a fill of blue and it's going to be half transparent. And yes, we can confirm again, this new sub object is indeed a ggplot object. We're going to make one small refinement to this sub ggplot object, which is we're going to reverse the layers. So we're going to make sure that the black points, the data points, are in the layer above the transparent blue rectangle that we've placed on this small subgraph. Okay, and then we can go ahead and finish plotting this graph. We can combine main with a custom animation of the subplot. We pass into this custom animation the subplot, but we can't pass in a ggplot object directly. Instead, we have to use the ggplotGrobs function, which will actually convert the subplot into a static graphic that a ggplot object can be combined with. It then asks where you want this graphic to be placed within the greater main figure. And in this case, it's going from this top point, I think. So here we have 0.01, the x minimum, and it goes to a maximum x value of 6 here. And then we have a y minimum of 1.7 and a y maximum of 3.3. So this whole square and the location of this square has been defined. Then we add scale-x-continuous and we set the limits of what portion of the main plot we want to call in terms of the x and the y axes. So in this case, you'll see that we've chopped off the data at 12.5. So in this new plot of mass against period of gestation, the main plot shows a portion of the data where there's a linear relationship. And then the subplot gives some detail as to what happens beyond the axis displayed in the main plot and shows how a pattern tapers off. Thanks for listening to this R Labs tutorial video. If you found this useful, it's possible that you might be interested in our free online Moodle course, or check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel with many interesting playlists about data handling, statistics, and modelling.